Joint Secretariat of the North Sea Region Program, and we'd like to welcome you. We're going to give a few more minutes for a couple other people who might join, and then we will get started. Good morning. This is Sarah again, and we can see that at the moment we have one participant listening. Cora, if you can hear me, can you just please write a quick hello in the chat function and let us know what organization you represent?
Christine?
But it was on.
It says close there to the left, you see?
No, that's to close the whole session. We can see that there's a participant named Cora in the session. And Cora, if you can hear me, you can hear me.
Oh.
Great, I can see that you're typing. Super, that's good. We were a little worried people couldn't hear us. Norwegian Mapping Authority, great, welcome.
Welcome.
Perhaps we should get started?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, super. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Sarah and my colleague Jesper. We are here representing the Joint Secretariat, and we are project advisors here at the Secretariat. So we help the projects as they implement throughout that time period. Now that you have seen the chat function, we would welcome you to put in any questions you have for us and for our national contact point, who is actually based in Norway and is listening now and will be joining us a little bit later to present her side of things. If you have any questions for any of us, feel free to put those questions in the chat function at any time, and we will take those after our presentation. You are very, very welcome to enter those questions in Norwegian or English, and they can be answered by Kate in Norwegian. The presentation will be in English, but feel free to use either language. And if any questions, if there's any reason we can't answer any of your questions during this webinar, we will find the answers to them and upload them to our website after the webinar. We might also ask a poll or put up a couple questions for you from time to time, and we'd really appreciate it if you would answer those. In fact, we have one of those now. So if you could just let us know, are you new to our program, or have you been involved in a project, the North Sea Region Program, before? You're new to the program. Okay, great. And priorities or priority that you're interested in, you can pick more than one. And in fact, this question I just realized for people who are new to the program, that doesn't really mean anything. We will go into this. We will end the voting on this one. You can let us know that later. So, just for your information, our calls 9 and 10 are the next calls for applications, and they open next January 2nd. Call 9 is for full applications. So those are applications where they've already passed through the first stage and been successful, and they have to write their second stage application. Call 10 is probably what you are interested in since you're new to the program. Call 10 is for expressions of interest. That's our first stage application. And that's where you write a somewhat shorter version of an application. If it gets approved, you move to the next stage. Call 10, which opens in January and ends in April, is the last call in this programming period that will be for full term, or what we call full term projects of 3 years. So after that, the calls that come after that for expressions of interest will be somewhat reduced time frame projects. We're going to take you through how much funding is left in the program and the different priorities, but it's very important to note that the funding available in all priorities will change after we have a steering committee meeting in 2 weeks' time, where they will approve further projects in our program. So all of the budgets almost certainly will be reduced by some number in December, and the numbers, the updated numbers, will be available on our website in January. So without further ado, we'll give you a very short introduction to the program, tell you how much funding is left, and then go to the Q&A. This is our 5B program period right now, has been running since 2014 and ends in 2020. That does not mean that projects have to finish in 2020. They can finish as late as the spring of 2023. We have 7 partner countries, which you can see here on our map. All of Norway is included. We have a steering committee made up of members from all of these countries who make the decisions on our project applications and funding. And the funding we give is in 4 separate priorities. At the moment, we have 2.1 million euros in Norwegian funding left for allocation. Again, this number will almost certainly be reduced in December when we have another steering committee meeting and further projects are approved. But at this moment, we don't know by how much, so please stay tuned and watch our website.
So let's go then to the different priorities, and we'll of course start with priority 1, which is titled Thinking Growth. And here we are looking at a number of issues, but it's mainly about strengthening the knowledge economy in order to generate growth and also especially jobs within the SMEs. We are also looking at different ways of capacity building, where we are looking at improving the commercial take-up of research results. And we are also looking at different ways to stimulate innovation in the public service delivery. And an important aspect within priority 1 is also that we try to involve many sectoral levels of SMEs, large and big, smaller SMEs, as well as public administrations, universities, and NGOs. So the priority is open for many different actors being involved from all the 7 member states, and we are looking at a number of different solutions that applies to innovation and capacity building. In terms of priority 2, it's all about stimulating the green economy, and we have 3 examples listed on our screen. But the aim here is really to identify different measures to improve the environmental footprint of the North Sea region economy, and also make sure that the wider society, including carbon and resource use. We are looking, for instance, at many different areas here. Just to mention a few, in terms of renewable and biodegradable materials, and also looking at how the society can make use of in new kind of ways in terms of water, raw materials, recycling of heat and energy efficiency improvements, just to mention a few areas within priority 2.
In priority 3, we have officially 288,000 euros left. Priority 3 is our priority on climate change adaptation. So here we're looking for projects that help to reduce flood risks, help protect the environment and biodiverse areas, and so forth. However, although this is a very low amount, the monitoring committee of our program approved a request by the Joint Secretariat this month, in fact, to allocate an extra 7+ million euros for these projects in the next round of applications. That said, the European Commission approval is still outstanding, so we cannot guarantee this at the moment, but we are quite confident that this will go through. So that means about 7 million euros for priority 3 from call 9. I did want to mention something quickly that I didn't say at the beginning. Call 10, which is what our listeners will be interested in, the call for first stage applications. The deadline for that call is the 8th of April. So you have from the 2nd of January to the 8th of April to submit an application in call 10. In priority 4, our last priority, where we look at green transport and mobility. And here we have roughly 15 million euros left. This is the priority where we deal with trying to get passengers on trains, passengers on ships, freight off the roads, and come up with ways to use alternative fuels to reduce the impact of transport on the environment and on the climate. So, without further ado, we would like to turn the mic over to our national contact point. Kate, if you are available, please give a shout.
Yes, hello. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can all hear me. Hello, can you hear me? I'm talking now. Can you hear me now?
To our listeners, can you also hear Kate?
Okay. Good. Okay. Hello. Yes. Hello. Jan Song. Have we got an extra person here? Yes, we've got 4 participants now, have we? Great. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll stay talking in English, but like they said, I do speak Norwegian, of course. So if ever you pick up the phone and call me, then it would be more natural for us to speak in Norwegian if you prefer. And as a national contact point, I have an advisory role, so I can advise you on your project development and help you to fill out the application form in a broad sense. I mean, I don't write any applications, of course, that's your job, but if you need to help in knowing how to interpret some of the questions or what is relevant content to answer in the application form, if you want some guidance in relation to the content of your project, then I'm able to help that at application stage. And then I also have a role if you become a partner in a project, then I also can help you execute the project if you don't know how to do this or how to do that. Some of the technical issues quite often people ask me as well. So it's twofold really, but at this stage we're talking about project development stage, so for the EOI, so that's stage 1, and then if you are approved at stage 1, then there's much more work to do on the stage 2 application and the full application. So you can contact me anytime. Phone number, I only have a mobile now, the other phone number we need to remove from the website actually. And you can of course send me an email, and I answer normally pretty quick emails. But if you have some specific questions, then quite a lot of people set up a telephone meeting with me so that we know we have half an hour to discuss something. So that's also quite a good way to organize things. If you save up all your questions, and then we can set up a meeting. Yeah. So over back to you, guys.
Great. Yes, thank you very much, Kate. So for those of you who were listening, Kate is our right-hand person in Norway. She's very, very well versed in what the program is all about, how projects run, and she can be a real asset when it comes to thinking about putting together a partnership with any partners in Norway, or indeed partners from other countries, and so forth. So please do contact her if you have questions. I would like to finish our presentation with a quick announcement about our next event, which is targeted exactly at you and anyone else who is planning to write a project application. It is what we call our Interwork event, and it will take place on the 16th and 17th of January next year in The Hague in the Netherlands. So please save this date. If you're thinking about applying, it's a great place to get information about applying to our program, be inspired by ideas from others, network with potential partners, and get inputs for developing a successful application. In addition, there will be representatives from the Joint Secretariat as well as our national contact points there to have one-on-one meetings with you if you have an idea you would like to explore and see whether it would fit in the program, so on and so forth. So please do keep this in mind and consider coming. There is no charge for attending, but you do have to register. And when we finish this webinar, you will be taken directly to the registration page on our website. So it is now that we will turn to the question and answer section of the webinar. Please feel free to ask any questions you might have. We're going to give you a couple of minutes to think about this, to type in your questions, and then we will take those one by one. So please take the next 2 minutes to write in your questions, and then Kate, in the chat function, sorry, we can see one of you is typing now, in the chat function, and those will be posted directly to the larger part of the screen once we open the question answer. Thank you. Okay, we'll just give you a few more seconds, another minute, and then we will start taking the questions. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much for your questions. We will now turn it over to Kate, who will take your questions one by one.
Now, for priorities, does it mean the projects go to priority 1 will be considered first, or the 4 priorities are equally important? That's from Yang Song. Is it okay if I answer in Norwegian, or do you speak Norwegian? That's one of the questions we haven't asked the participants. Let's see. He's typing. See what he says. Ja, jeg kan snakke på norsk. Ok, da kan vi ta det på norsk. Det stemmer, det er 4 prioriterte områder, men det er ikke slik at det ene er viktigere enn den andre. Så hvis du ser litt nærmere inn i program manual, så ser du hva det er temabasert. Så ser du hvilket tema kommer under hver prioritert område. Så ingen er viktigere enn den andre, men som kanskje du var ikke der da vi gikk gjennom, men under priority 3 så er det mindre penger igjen. Vi prøver å finansiere opp priority 3 slik at folk kan også søke under priority 3. Yeah, guys, I guess I answered that question now. Okay. What is the co-funding rate? Ja, og tilbake til norsk. Finansiering, matchfunding er 50%. Så hvis man er vant til å jobbe med horisont og forskningsprogrammene, så er det litt annerledes i forhold til finansieringsnivå. Next. I would like some general information about project application. Ja, det var fra Kåre, tror jeg. Ja, nei, men da tenker jeg at kanskje vi skulle hatt, vi kan ha en telefonsamtale, fordi dette er litt mer spesifikke spørsmål vi egentlig kunne svare på her. Det er selvfølgelig en webside hvor du kan finne veldig mye informasjon, men hvis du vil snakke med meg etterpå eller en annen anledning, så kan jeg prøve å svare direkte på spørsmålet du kan ha. Er det greit? Minimum number of partners in a project. Offisielt så sier man i programheftene at dette er nok med 3 partnere. Eller 2 partnere faktisk, jeg tror det er 2 partnere denne gangen, men uansett så er det forventninger at man skal ha et mye større partnerskap enn det. Så jeg vil si at sorry, it's just I can see someone's writing to me. Jeg vil si at en minimum 5 eller 6 partnere, og det kommer litt an på innholdet i prosjektet og hvilke partner du har. Men det er ofte et krav å dekke stor geografisk område innenfor norske områder. Så ja. Det må vi nesten snakke litt om når du kommer så langt at du har et partnerskap, og sjekke om det dekker både faglig og geografisk, om du vil fulfille kravene. And what type of project can we apply for? Research project or innovation project? Ja, altså dette er ikke et forskningsprogram. Det er egentlig det vi vil kalle for regional utviklingsprogram. Så innovation, det er jo en viktig del av alle prosjekt som man søker på. Vi vil evalueringskriterier vil se etter innovasjonselement i alle prosjekt. Men også hvis det er forskning, så er det ofte som forskning for å kunne gi en kunnskapsbase til det videre arbeidet i prosjektet. Så det er ikke noe ren forskning. Det er det beste å forholde seg til forskningsprogrammene. Enten regionalt eller nasjonalt eller Horizon 2020 selvfølgelig. Do we have any more questions? What is the project application process? Nå det slik at det 2 steg, så det en enklere søknad første runde, og der var det frist 8. april, hvis du skal skrive en såkalt expression of interest. Så da har du flere måneder nå til å få det til, og det fullt mulig. Og så blir det vel en bestemt eller avgjort om du får godkjent til neste steg. Det blir sikkert i juni, og da må du skrive en full søknad til høsten 2019. Da blir godkjent i desember, kan jeg tenke meg. Jeg kan jo være sekretariat han må bekrefte det kanskje, om det stemmer i forhold til dato i juni og desember og høst 2019 for full applications. Hello? Hello?
Okay, this is Jesper again.
Yeah.
Before we conclude, are there any further questions? Right. If that's the case, we would like to thank you, Kate, very much for answering all the questions in Norwegian. Yes, Kate?
There is one question here, I think, which needs posting. What is the timeline for projects in Call 10?
Oh.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Timeline for projects in Call 10. Altså, det søknaden, eller søknadsåpne 2. januar, så da kan du allerede gå inn og begynne å skrive direkte inn i online system. Og fristen for den utlysningen er 8. april. Ja.
So thank you again, Kate. Again, to the participants, are there any more questions? Maybe there is one more. There is someone typing.
And hello, Sabrina. We can see that you are listening, and we welcome you.
Sabrina, Cora,
and Jansson.
Jansson, yes. Jansson just wrote he doesn't have any question.
Okay.
That's safe to assume that.
Yes.
We can go on.
Yeah.
All right. Then we would like to conclude, and before doing that, we should perhaps take the last poll. So let's see. So the question is, would you be interested in further thematic webinars on submitting an application? And there are 2 options. 3 options. Yes, no, and maybe. Are we having any more votes? Okay. Thank you for that. And here are the results. And as you can see, 1 voted for yes and 1 voted for maybe. So, we'll take it as a very positive, slight positive note as such. In terms of then concluding, first of all, thank you to the participants and also to you, Kate, again, and also for posing your questions. We would like to wrap it up by again stressing the importance of the Interwork event, which will take place in the Netherlands, in The Hague, on the 16th and 17th of January. Please, if you have the chance to participate in order to come forward with your future project ideas and proposals, this is the event to attend. And here you will also have the opportunity to meet us all from the Joint Secretariat, including all the national contact points, and you will also have an opportunity to have a more individual consultation with us based on your project idea as such. By saying that, we would also like to emphasize again the different call dates for the coming time. We have, as Sarah just said, we just closed our calls, and we will have the steering committee meeting now already in December for the call 7 and 8. Which we will take a decision on in 11th and 12th of December in Lübeck. And for those who are involved in those applications, especially the expression of interest, are then welcome to start working on their proposals, again in the online monitoring system, as this is a two-step application process, which opens 2nd of January and closes later in the spring. Then forward, we also have, there is, yes, and in this respect, as Kate is rightfully writing, please, you should also consider the Norwegian participation, of course, in terms of the funding available. This is, of course, very important. As Sarah and Kate have both said, that the finance situation is quite limited for Norway. So that again is a good objective in order to be present in The Hague to find out the latest news based on this. And then, of course, later on, we will, of course, have potential calls later on. Starting by April, and these will be approved later in June. And the following application will start somewhere in the summer, autumn. And then again, there will be a steering committee later on, but then we are talking already 2020.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Any projects that are approved in Call 10 in June of next year will go to full application, and those projects will not be able to start till earliest January 2020. So we're looking at approximately a 1 year from now starting point for projects that apply from January to April next year. Yeah. Yep. Okay, super. Thank you very, very much for joining, and we hope if you have any further questions, you will go to Kate, either by phone or email, or you can come to us by phone or email. We'll be happy to take your questions. Thank you very much.
Kate, do you want to say a couple of last words?
No, that's okay. Just give me a call if you want to ask any questions. That's no problem. I'm in Bergen, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.